We go. I do believe we are live. So I'll say indeed and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. I thank you for joining me again on another conscious evolution. Are you serious? This dude didn't turn on. I should have good audio at some point. Why are you not turning on, bro? Why are you not turning on? That is okay. Okay, I turned on. I had, and then it's off again. This microphone seems to be broken. This is the microphone I had on Dad yesterday. Don't tell me. Tell me it's not so. Just like this. Let's say it's not so. This one goes on. This one goes on instantly. Okay. Both of them are on now, even though this one's in the case. Alright. I'm gonna mic you up. Suit yourself. My life has been made exponentially better for learning lessons. So much better, right? In so many different ways as well. My relationships have improved. My emotional intelligence has expanded. My capacity to hold ideas that might not be my own has become possible. All by the power of learning lessons. Living in this world, making mistakes in my own ways, and then learning from those mistakes. Learning from others' mistakes as well, in fact, I think that's the best part. You get to not make certain mistakes because others already have. I'm gonna open my comment section here, and then I'll be with you friends in a second. It is so very humid, so very hot. It's like 80, 84, 85% humidity right now, and around 30 degrees Celsius. Yeah. Like, why don't you want to learn shit, Sam? Like, that's very confusing to me. I don't understand. I guess, maybe it's one of those things where some people find themselves in environments where learning lessons is a punishment, right? Maybe some of us never really grow out of thinking of a lesson learned as something lost almost. I like learning lessons. I think the lessons I've been learning as of late is very much silence. Been learning not to say certain things, not to talk about certain things, just to let things be. I have learned the lesson of proximity in moving myself when I find myself uncomfortable. In moving myself when I find myself uncomfortable where I am. I learned the lesson of redundancy as well. Hey, Joy V, it's nice seeing you here too. Sam says, learning a lesson that I was not prepared to learn is the universe butting into my life with some bullshit I can do very well without. That's why. I hear your point, but I still think it moot. Because you cannot learn a lesson that you were not prepared to learn in that way, right? It's like you learned that lesson because it was time to learn it. That was the time to learn the lesson, right? Yesterday I got taught the lesson of compassion again in a way that I wouldn't have been able to if my dad didn't learn a couple of lessons. My dad got to learn some lessons. Hey, Whisper. Hey, Whisper. It's nice seeing you, friend. Yeah, my dad got wrecked. My dad got properly wrecked. You want to see what he looked like? I should show you. I'll probably like edit like a little bit of a video together or something, but this is what my dad looked like last night. I don't know what the best way is gonna be to show you. Bro, please. Please. And then, like instead of just letting him be, he is in pain, he is just like uncomfortable. And he hurt his back, right? And all the commotion. And I can see him almost gesturing that he kind of like wants a back massage. And being a yoga teacher, I'm like, a back massage is not gonna help you if you pulled your back. You need to do some yoga. You need to do some stretches. And I can instantly see this resistance arise in his being. This unwillingness to learn this lesson that I'm trying to teach, if you will, if we're gonna say it like that. And I like get ready, I put down the yoga mats, and I'm looking for him. And I'm like, where is he? And he's like, my siblings let me know, no, he went to go and shower. And that usually, for me at least, is something that I would, how do you say, not take offense to, maybe be peeved about, right? Like feel a sense of, bro, right? I'm trying to do this thing for you, and now you're doing other things instead of just doing this thing. It's important. But he comes back. He does come back. We get on the yoga mats. He instinctively puts himself into a child's pose right off the bat. I comment thereon. We continue the practice, and it's about like 1/3, maybe 40% through the entire exchange, right? Like we did some stretches, then I did some massages and some leg work, moving his legs a little bit, and then did some stretches again. And then by the time he was like basically coming up to go onto his belly for the massage, he tells me, literally, he tells me that when you told me that we're gonna do stretches, I wanted to tell you you're wasting my time. Right? I wanted to tell you, je mors mijn tijd. Which is like almost like the rude way. Right? If you're gonna say, you're wasting my time. It's like kind of like that. Right? And I'm like, oh. And he goes, yeah, actually this helped a lot. I feel a lot better. I'm like, wow. It's almost like your son is a literal certified yogi, almost like. And then he does. He gets on his yoga mat, we go through the whole process. And he hasn't, made a little sound about his back being uncomfortable today. And I feel like a lesson was learned, right? And I'm sharing this anecdote in part as well as a counter to your perspective, Sam. My dad was not ready. My dad would have never been ready to learn the lesson that yoga is good for you, right? That you can do yoga and then feel better almost instantaneously, right? He would have never learned that lesson. He was never ready to learn that lesson. And then he got his ass absolutely handed to him by the universe, right? He took a beating by the universe. He got beaten into submission by the universe so he can learn this vital lesson, very important lesson going forward, right? Yoga good for body. I can feel it, right? That's the thing as well. Like, it's the experientiality of it. He had to be beaten down the way he was, in order to come to a point where he had to look for some sort of answer. I think maybe that's the thing as well, right? Because instead of praying for him, I was like, let's do some work about this. Let's do some yoga about this. It's nice having you, Neon. Seeing your name here. Bless you, friend. Joe Bot, be here. Dad did yoga. Yes, true. Lessons was learned. Maybe call it stretching and don't mention the Y word. Yeah. I did tell him we're gonna do some stretches. That's basically what I said yesterday as well. Mel Sam, Joy Vive, Barak, Barbak, and Joe Bot. Hey, LA, it's nice having you here too, friend. Jovan saying hi to our friends as well. MeltMore, happy Sundays to you. Happy Sunday to you too. I'm so glad your dad got onto the mat with you. It was nice. For me, the fact that he instinctively puts himself in child's pose right off the bat as well, I was like, oh. Like, I didn't have to cue him. I was like, get on your yoga mat. And then he goes into child's pose. And I'm like, all right. And he even instinctively came back to child's pose. It's like a centering pose, which is something I'm supposed to cue as a good yoga teacher, but I didn't. But he would do it anyway. All right. So I was like, oh, how about that? A yogi lives in him too. He's even flexible for never having practiced yoga in his life, technically. He's relatively flexible. Like, if we had to have like a bar and I was on the one extreme of the flexibility and I'm not, right? But for our body type, let's say, he's like 75% there, 75% at least, maybe even more. I mistyped your name as Joe Boot at first. I'm so glad it helped him too, bless, right? The fact that he vocalized his disbelief in this practice and then instantly felt relief in the practice, I feel like it was like a mind-shattering moment for him of like, this thing won't help, and then it like helped like that. And I know because I've done that. I have pulled my back. I have felt myself like to the point where you want to complain. Like, and I've complained like that to other people about my back, like my dad did to me. And maybe it was in my delivery as well, because I did when he told me, like, because it's one of those things where I know he's me, and sometimes you give yourself good advice and then you don't listen to it. All right. And I kind of like said in that moment when I heard him like say again, and his back is hurting, I'm like, if you want your back to feel better, you should join me on my yoga mat. You should join me on the yoga mat. That was like basically what I said, and maybe that was like a part of the seed of resistance of him like, no, I won't feel better because you proclaimed that I will just feel better. I'm happy he feels better. Right, that's the real win. A very unbirthing to you. Who's getting unbirthed? That comment just got unbirthed. Oh, if you're here, do hit the upvote. I just hit the upvote on my own live stream. Boom, and I was the first one. I'm pretty sure. Thank you, friends. Boom. Yeah, suddenly, look at it. All of us extra. I appreciate it. Love is true. I'm saying this as a counter to your perspective, Sam. Maybe Sam is just being combative for no other reason than the entertainment value, and maybe Melt is combating back for no other reason but the entertainment value. How about that? Yes, for the welcome. I did kind of assume that as well, because that was the very first thing you chose to say, right? Like right off the bat, it was just combative. So I was like, I see what's happening. Um, oh, yes, thank you for the welcome. Bless again, Neon. Thank you for being here, friend. I really do love showing people the reset your shoulders trick, and I am constantly surprised by the wow, that feels great response. Something, something, yoga teacher. Yogini. Jovan the Yogini. Jobot Yogini Bot. Yeah. Something like that. Okay. Djibouti is my rapper name. My shoulders, mostly scapula area, is always in pain. There's a bunch of stretches that come to mind, right? Like that one is good. Just like proper reaches. Almost like that, where you grip yourself and then you flare your shoulders out. Pushing your chest out. Or rolling your chest back. This one could be good for you actually. Just this exercise. If you're finding yourself constantly dealing with scapular stuff, could be a good exercise for you. Easy to do. You can do it in your seat at work. Somebody walks past you while you're doing that and it's like, oh no, they're possessed by a demon. No, I'm just doing yoga. They're possessed by a demon. They're telling me they're possessed. Okay. There is something called holy yoga that they do at some churches. It's basically yoga, but they talk about God instead of Amagaya. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. You can do yoga silently too. You can do yoga just as cues, right? Just as the body movements. What a beautiful yard you got there, Melt. Got. You got there. It is here, so the there is accurate. You, as in me, and got as in to have. I feel got is more like an acquisition kind of thing. And I don't know if I had gotten this. This is, on one level, my father's. Right? It's not mine. On another level, it's not even my dad's, it's the universe's. On that level as well, my dad couldn't have made this as beautiful as it is if not for the universe and its ownership of everything. All right? Because the universe being as it is has made all of this as beautiful as it is. This rock wall that is on the back of me was built by humans, but the rocks ultimately was made by Magaya too. I am really happy with how these vines are turning out though. They got planted, I think, 3 years ago now. And they're like at a place now where they're mostly taken over. They still got some work there to do. But it is nice to look at. I'm so happy to share it with you friends and have you appreciate it too. Is that a Bojo I see being mentioned? There it is, a very merry unbirthing to you. There it is again. I still don't get it actually. I thought about a reversion table for your scapula stuff. Inversion table. I think that exercise I just showed you, doing that for like 5 minutes a day for a week, and then deciding whether or not you want to buy things. Maybe. I think first. What a beautiful yard, bless again. Holy yoga, when Christians admit that there is value in other cultures, but can't stand it. Sounds about right. It sounds. What's that word That turn of phrase. It sounds par to the course. Is that how you say it? Hey, Google. What does it mean if I say it is par to the course? It is part of the course. No, I don't. I think it's par, like P-A-R. It is apt, let's say, right? Because the whole Christian narrative is kind of based around the idea of singular truth, right? One above all other, singular truth, and the belief that they have it, all right? And that par for the course. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I was close. I don't really say that much. Par for the course. Is it a golf term? Golf, it is a golf reference. Oh, okay. So par for the course in that way would mean like that's about what you get, right? It's like maybe there's a certain course and most guys hit a par on that course. And because most guys hit par on that course, it's par for the course. Hey Google, define par for the course and where it comes from. In golf, par is the standard number of strokes a skilled golfer is expected to take to complete a hole or an entire course. It's a benchmark used to measure performance. I was right? The origin, par, again, I don't need to know that. Figurative use. The phrase par for the course has extended beyond golf to describe something that is typical, expected, or normal, even if it's not necessarily desirable. Yeah, we perfectly used it. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, nice. Traffic jams are par for the course during rush hour. Yeah, checks out, you know. Checks out. Dealing with difficult customers is par for the course in retail. It's rough. I wanted to say some stuff, but I think it's better if I don't. Okay. Neon. Try this. Arms to a T. Inhale. Lift shoulders to ears. Slightly tuck rib cage. Pointing thumbs behind you. Exhale, relax, and lower arms back down. Feel good. I'm gonna maybe describe or display. Demonstrate. I want to maybe get a little bit further back. Let's see. All right. So, arms to a T. Right, to your sides. Left shoulders to ears. All right. Get them nice and close. Slight tuck rib cage. Point thumbs behind you. Shh. Exhale. Relax arms back down. And feel good. It does definitely correct your posture. I feel like I am highly enlightened right now. Yes, come sit, students, sit. Ask me all of your pressing questions, and I will give you the answers you seek. And if I cannot, then we shall pontificate together, students. Display is good. Display is good. You appreciate the demonstration. Good. Jobot, I did that trick this morning to reset my posture. Nice. Did I just say it resets your posture? Did I just say that exact words? I love that, LA. The way, the truth, and the life, but also I will absorb any useful thing I can across and craftily replace it so I don't have to be confronted with my own hypocrisy. Yeah. The mental gymnastics, you know. Like, I have seen mental gymnastics in religion in a way I've not seen it anywhere else, right? And I enjoy a certain amount of mental gymnastics, right? Especially if it is playful in nature, because we can mental gymnasticize or whatever, and we can walk away from it being like, okay, that was fun, now next. However, when it comes to religion, now suddenly it's your soul at stake, right? So now the mental gymnastics is you trying to justify your own having been saved already, or going to be saved at some point, or all right, like it's kind of like a stopgap. It's it's an insurance. It's a kind of like getting insurance on life, it's getting insurance on afterlife mindset, and you pay. You have to pay for that stuff. You have to pay in time, and you have to pay in association, and you have to pay in sometimes even actual money, right? Tithing is a thing in religion as well. It's quite absurd. I had like a whole conversation with mom actually today about religion, and it was good. It was really good. It was basically this affirmation between both of us that one of the biggest mistakes that is made in religion, and she said this of her own religion, is that they believe that they know what right is, and that who wrong is gonna go to hell, right? And they're not gonna go to hell because they're right, but those they deem wrong, they're gonna go to hell, right? And as soon as that's like the mentality you start operating on, right? Like, I know, you're wrong because you're not living the way I'm living. Woo! Woo! And then we get authoritarianism. All right. Then we get fascism. I seek snake oil. Actually, I have some snake oil. I have this website called MeltMore. No. Let's start over. It's actually patreon.com/MeltMore. And there I make rejuvenating flowers. And I'm willing to stand by that. I believe my flowers are rejuvenating. Right? You witness my flowers and you'll feel things. I guarantee you. You might feel this is a lot. You might feel this is too much. You might feel I don't know what's going on. But you'll feel something. You might feel awe as well, who knows? I wanna pick you one of my favorites recently. That one's good. That one's real nice. This one's pretty cool too. I think you friends received this one very well as well. Man, I like all of my art. This one is so cool though. Right? Yes. Rejuvenation. Feel that energy. Boom. And for as little as $1, literally, well, $1.11, I believe, you can have access to my Patreon, where I post one of these basically every day. Sometimes I forget, Sometimes I omit to post one, but I'll catch up. I sequence them from 1 to 9, and then I start over again. But boom, there is your snake oil. Get snake oilicized. Settle down. This is getting silly. Slither salad sauce. Crash. Come in. Ranger, love you. Copy that. Your friends. I think I missed some context. Par for the course. Okay. Mel, give me one of the biggest lessons you've learned the past year. Give us. Okay. The biggest lesson I've learned the past year. It feels a little bit, I want to say the word pompous, because I don't know if it is applicable as a lesson that I can teach you, right? And I want to give you the lesson that you can take that I've learned from this year. But the lesson that I learned really is like what I'm capable of, right? It showed me that there is a certain capacity in me to survive, right? To be okay. Like this year was rough. Like I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Uh, I was not having a good time for a lot of it. I was having a fine time for a lot of it too, right? But like it was like very like with like some woo uh woo, and then they would be like, holy shit, can you fucking believe this, right? Like if this is baseline, I was like very close to like little, just a little below baseline. All right, and then there would be these highs. I would like do client work. I would, literally make visuals for festivals, and then get to go to a festival where my visuals are, and people are losing their minds, and they're vocal about how much they appreciate having beautiful things to look at in that environment, right? And that's like a very like, wow, this feels like what life could be, should be, would be if I tried hard enough or whatever. And then it goes back to waiting, goes back to actually, just goes back to being in that space that I was in, right? And all of the tensions that was waved all the way through that. So I learned that I can handle some shit. And I hope that I handled it well. I hope. I don't know if I did, to be honest. You friends are, the judges of that, if anything. But I am happy to have learned these lessons. Right? I wouldn't unlearn these lessons. If I knew I could, I still wouldn't. My connection is spotty today. We love you, Pojo. We're right here with you. Danger noodle oil. Slither spaghetti sauce. That's something that I will. That is something that I will never ask about. Too long ago for me to know. Nope rope. Marinade. Toothy noodles. Serendipitous slither salad sauce. Settle down. This is getting silly. Read poem and share flour in place of card pull. I should do that. That is something I should do. Right? And I can, in the same way, do something like this. Because I have, like, these are technically just the ones that I went through the process of color correcting and writing a poem for. Like, these were the ones I added effort to, like extra effort. They were like the finishing steps. So let me say it like this: maybe I'm an artist, right? And then an artist like sketches a bunch of sketches, and then one of the sketches he really likes, and then he like actually puts that to canvas, and then paints it, and then gets it finished, right? So these are basically those finished pieces, and of those, I have 1,086 right now. And you can see, they went, at least in my mind, from like dog water. Why am I mean? I'm sorry, self. But they went from like being like very bad in my mind when I look at them. I really don't like them. To being pretty spectacular. Right? Like, especially my one geometry ones. Like, look at this thing. Look at this. And then I can copy this number right here. Yes, 261166. And then I'll go to my Patreon and I'll go to my posts and I'll search. I'll search this number and then I'll find that poem. Yeah. Nice. Oh my goodness, of course. I had like a whole thing in my mind when you asked like I should pull a flower and then read the poem that's associated with it. Sometimes I don't write a poem, especially so if I'm like pressed for time. Double expressively so if I forgot to post the flower and then posted it the second day, just before I posted the flower of that day, for example. And this is one of those flowers that doesn't have a poem attached to it. Can you believe that? Of course you can. Brian commented on this one too. Progress sometimes looks like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. That's a fact. Wait a second. Was this when Jovan was here? No, this is October. She came in September. But that feels like kind of, little bit at least, has a Aesop rock kind of canter to it. Progress sometimes looks like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. That's a fact. Let's do another one. Let's hope we get lucky on this one. All right, so again, oh, tapestry. Oh, this is the lion one. I haven't seen this one in forever. These are one of the old ones, like number copied. Let's see. So the reason I'm mentioning on how old it is because I think my poems have gotten a little bit better since. But yeah, this was another one that's very, very limited. It just goes, calm down. Everything is going to be okay. Stay present, stay active, stay loving. We'll see this through one day at a time. Keep showing up for love. Trust, and it will be there. Too simple. One more. One more. I think if I'm going to do this, I do want to like keep it in like the top 60%. Right. So amongst like my 400 most recent ones. This one. It's a pretty good one too, right? Ronnie Briggs, it's very synchronistic to catch you again. Ronnie, it's nice having you here as well, friend. You feeling like there has been things in your life coming up that makes you need a space like this right now? It is the season to be stressed and stuff, bruh. So if you are, look at pretty things, and let's hope this poem is one of the good ones. Yeah, I mean, it's a big one, at least. Freestyle a poem. No. Boom. That's the whole poem. It's a radical poem about defiance and sticking to the man. No. This one, however, is called Efforts to Weave Memories. I see Kristen actually commented on this one and I didn't reply. Now I have. Efforts to weave memories. In the loom of existence we thread our days, each moment a delicate strand, woven with care. The wrap and weft of time, intricate and fine, creating a tapestry of memories in our mind. Didn't you just say you like the tapestry when you looked at all of my flowers together as well, Joyviv? Believe, my friend, that effort is the shuttle, moving swiftly across the fabric of life. With purposeful hands we pull the threads, crafting stories both mundane and excellent. For memories are not passive, waiting to be found. They are spun from intention, from daring to explore, and we must venture beyond the familiar shores, to taste the salt of distant seas, to seek more. The quiet hours spent in whispered conversations, the laughter echoing through moonlit nights, The shared glances, the touch of techno hand, these are the threads that bind us to the light. So let us weave memories with purpose, not mere spectators, but active creators. For in the effort lies the magic of living, and the richness of life is well woven. Yow! I do like that one. That's fun. I will read yesterday's. Yeah, I think yesterday's, Joe commented on yesterday's as well. It goes, the weight of grace. Compromise is a bridge, built plank by uncertain plank, where neither shore feels whole but the river flows undisturbed. It is the quiet art of letting go, not of values, but of pride, a slow untying of knots we thought held us together. Sometimes it feels like a loss, like a color fading from the sky. But what if it's a blending, a new shade, soft and strange, neither yours nor mine, yet ours? It asks for grace, for the courage to see beyond the self, to meet halfway, not as defeat, but as creation. And compromise is a rhythm, a pulse of give and take, a harmony found not in sameness, but in the between space. It technically has here, in the space between, but I want to swap those words. In compromise, there's a rhythm, a pulse of give and take, a harmony found not in sameness, but in between the space. Yeah. Yeah. I have done this more than I'd like to admit as well, where I'll read through the poems and then I'll change them, even though they're already posted online. I don't know if your friends notice that stuff. Okay. Let me see. What have I been missing? Hello, lessons, always. Welcome to my TED Talk, and thank you for coming. Love that blue and orange one. Yeah, the flower. You helped me very much. Last we spoke, Ronnie Briggs. I'm so happy to hear that, dear friend. I hope you know, right? Like, all the help that we in this space brought to you is a reflection of yourself. I do believe that the people in this space try to be good mirrors in that way, right? So, like, they're pretty cool, but we are you. And we love you because we love ourselves. Ronnie, so much love being sent. Y'all just took a shower with me. Thank you. That time of year sucks for me, yes. For me too. So much stress, so much expectation, going around. Sorry for being so intrusive. It's okay. You're loved, dear friend. Hello, everyone. Bless again. Joe, save water, shower with a friend. Jaju, we're taking on with Zana too. Just adding to the list. Greatest poem ever. Write it down so you don't forget. I can't remember what was the word to that. What was the word? What was the word to that poem that I just said? Love is true. Y'all have shouted me too, I must admit. I sang for you. That's so nice. LA, clean. Yeah. Like, we're just voices in the ether, right? If the voices started commenting, like, ooh, is the water nice? While you get into the shower, that would have been a little bit disconcerting. Uh, I sang. We shower together for water conservation. Like, it's kind of hilarious that you friends are making that joke right now. I'm pretty sure that was like a go-to uh, pickup line during my teenage years, right? Like, people would, like, if you wanted to let a girl know that you're like into her, you would like say stuff like that, like, yeah, we should be saving water and shower together or something, or something, right? You'd be into something like that, right? No, I was joking. I was just joking. I was it's saving water, saving water, because it's dry in South Africa and stuff. Starts having panic attack. Y'all have pretended to be working with me for a lot of hours. Nice, nice Mojo. Love you too. Bless. I feel that too, Mojo. You friends make me happy. It's nice having people to spend time with like this. Even though we are internet friends, right? And parasocial relationships and whatnots, right? Love is true. Like look at this, right? You love, you love this little thing. You love her, yeah, and me too, right? And just because that technically is parasocial, can you have a parasocial relationship with an animal? Or is parasociality only like internet related? Point I'm making is you don't have to have physical access to another person or another thing to love them, right? To be like, oh, I love Pippi. She's so cute. She's a cute Pippi. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, she is. She is a little cute Pippi. 100%. Right? What am I saying? I'm saying all of this is weird. And I thank you, friends, for being on this ride with me. As weird as it may be, it really is a blessing getting to experience this world the way we have. I gotta say, someone else conditioned my hair and she brushed it out, and it was very nice. Save water. That does sound nice, bro. I've been conditioning my own hair for so long. Thank you, Joy Vive. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. There can be parasocial even with animals. All right, and that's wild. That is like a really wild thing that we human beings can love so intently and so intensely, and that we're using our technology to do that. That's the cool part, right? You can use your technology to expose yourself to information that will make you hate the world and yourself as well, So thank you for not doing that. Melty, in the spirit of water conservation, I imagine that it rarely worked, but it has to work once for it to be a good line. Yeah, I didn't. Again, it was more like a litmus test, I think. Right? Like if you got the face of when you joke like that of a girl, or she smiles at you and maybe like touches your arm, then maybe you're like, oh, okay, like we're not actually gonna be showering together anytime soon. Like that's never happening. But maybe like we'll hold hands once, and then start dating, and on other sides of the recess, like playground. Like I heard a story about that where a dude asked a girl out, and then after asking her out, he stopped hanging out in the same areas of the school that he used to hang out in when it was recess. And she would hang out on the other side, right? Like they were like separated by nothing but their own fear of one another, essentially. And then a year passed, and they came back together, and they were like, "Oh, okay, that was fine. Let's stop doing that now." uh, in the water. I follow lots of animals. Ronnie mine too. He clings like such a baby. Parasocial is one-sided, though. I think you're too intricate and all-inclusive to be considered parasocial. Hmm. I do appreciate that sentiment, Xiao. That is very nice of you to say. Yeah, I do try, right? I guess that is also true. But it is a matter of now at this point of my life, it is not an unachievable task for me to be interactive and all inclusive, right? But if there is too many comments for me to read, then I might not be able to include everybody or be able to interact with everybody. And in that case, there might still be people that find value in this space, and then we're back to parasocial. And I don't think, just off the bat, parasocial relationships is a bad thing. Right? And this comes from my own bias because I don't want to believe it's a bad thing because I have a bunch of them. Right? Like PewDiePie and Marzia and Little Bjorn is one of them. Right? Like they don't know about me, but I know about them and I love them and I want the best for them. I want them to, experience the good sides of this life. Right? And in my mind, that is the value of a parasocial relationship, right? It's the fact that we can know about each other and hope for the best for each other, right? Despite it being a little bit maybe like one-sided in that way, where like I can want and hope and love you from afar, right? But I cannot love and hope for you directly or in a what some might consider impactful or meaningful way in your life. The collective Joe, we are one after all. You friends, so much love. One of my cats used to be my baby. Now she's my babysitter. She gets loud and pissed whenever I take a shower longer than 5 minutes because it means she's lost access to me. Sling, get better, bro. Get used to shower. Agreed, Joe. Parasocial relationships are never this two-way. Makes sense. It's nice having you here to fit. Bless you, friend. We're one and the same fit. My phone decided to add that apostrophe. Regular Joe. It's okay. We are joy. We are joy now too. Yeah, like that. That has happened more times than I like for it to happen. I think it's happened at least twice. At least twice, where I say joy when I know it's a Jovan comment. Or not like that I know it's a Jovan comment. Like I'm reading a Jovan comment and I know I'm reading a Jovan comment. And then by the time I vocalize, I'm saying joy. Because it's Joe and Joy, right? It's literally the same. It's like I'm opening the same tab in my brain and then it like sometimes clicks down instead of clicking up or whatever. Hey, thank you for the love is true, bro. Yeah. Good reminder to have. I'm most thrilled to share with you, friends, the alchemization of my voice, holding a positive self-image. Have you been speaking out loud words of positive affirmation? What has that been looking like for you, bro? One of us. One of us. It's beautiful. No, you. Joy, do you have a favorite animal YouTuber? I just started following a spider monkey. Monkeys. I think that's like too loaded for me to talk about a little bit. Monkeys are too close. It's a little bit too close to me. A little bit too close. I mean, who am I to say? Who am I to say? I'm taking a flight of individuality all the way. All the way to where? Where are you taking this individuality of yours? Do let us know. Maybe we can find you there. Mojo, there's a dog and monkey and a chicken that hang out together and have a regular stream. They're awesome. That does sound Like quite something. Fresh squeezed OJ and weed. Nice. That does sound like some radical individuality. Squeezing yourself some fresh orange juice as an individual for an individual. Nice. It's an easy mistake to make when you're juggling with a Joe, and a Joy every day. True. But I still do not tolerate, right? And I do correct myself instantaneously, and then I feel embarrassed. I'm like, bro, how dare my neurons betray me? Mm, Urban Rescue Ranch is a favorite channel. Joy, that's a good one. She knows as well. I'll have to look for that one, Joe. My partner hates monkeys because they're too close to human. I think she's mental. Monkeys rule. I love monkeys. Fit. I really love them. Right. Like I like really like everything about them. For me, it's the surreality of them being so close to human. Right. Like their little hands. Right. Like I held like a little capuchin. Was a capuchin monkey when they came here. Right. Those people with the monkey who came and visited us.
Marmoset.
Marmoset. Yeah, a little marmoset monkey. Wat kan niet zo. Well, okay. Toch maar wel eens, hè.
Hello.
Yeah, a little marmoset monkey. And then I have this thing in my arms, right? And it is playing with my necklace. And I can see this thing that is small to me taking up like its entire little hands, right? And then it holds onto like the tip of my finger with its little hand. And seeing that, and seeing those little eyes and the little vocalizations, for me, it's a matter of I want them to live a good life. All right, I want them to live the best possible life that they can live. And I don't know that the best possible life for them is to be filmed or in cages where they're close enough to be filmed, etc., etc., right? In homes or whatever. So it's a matter of like I really like I love them so much, and it's again I wouldn't have been able to understand how surreal that experience is if somebody didn't own a monkey and carried that monkey around with them like it's a child in the world. It's a surreal thing to do, and yet they're doing that, and it's working for them. Is it working for the monkey? back to that consideration. The interspecies ones are definitely fun. The spider monkey lives with a couple of dogs. They're adorable together. Oh, I thought citrus fruits were supposed to increase it. The orange juice, can actually negate the effects of weed and mushrooms. Yeah, no, definitely not mushrooms. Definitely not mushrooms. Maybe weed. I can see why it would. I never have had that as an experience, but definitely not mushrooms because orange juice in and of itself will contain some acidity as well. It'll be a little bit higher sugar content, but it will have some acidity. And that acidity will serve to break down cell walls on mushrooms, which does the opposite of negating the effects. Ask me how I know. I have tested this experiment, and the results are in conclusively. The the orange juice did not stop that roller coaster. Let's use that word. Oh, just search my key dog and rooster. You'll find them. Nice. Too many J's and O's in this chat. No, I want all of you here. Monetizing animals is icky. There we are. Yeah. Right. Especially if it's something as like close to human as like a little monkey, right? Because it's like, oh no. Oh no. What are we doing? what are we OJ can actually. I'm not sure about that one. Hugs and fruits for you friends, shiny ones too. Love to you, Pojo. Uh, I'm sure the monkeys feel the same about your partner, Fit. Absolute wreckage. Cake. The spider monkey lives. Nice. Yeah, definitely. They definitely do, Joy. Joe. I was taught to drink fresh OJ if I was ever having a bad trip or had smoked too much weed. The placebo is quite powerful. Yeah, this is true. I mean, the sugar can be like something, right? It's gonna give you like an influx of sugar if you're having a bad trip. Having some sugar can give your body a little bit of a boost. The acidity as well, like the sharpness, has some vitamin C in it. Maybe there's some fiber, right? So all of that stuff can be helpful if you've smoked too much or having a bad trip. Let's go and do some research. I like doing research. I turn on my internet button and I go. We're having a discussion about orange juice and its effects on cannabis smokers and potential psychedelic mushroom eaters. There is a anecdote where someone talks about giving someone a little bit of orange juice or a glass of orange juice when they're having a bad trip or when they've smoked too much weed. And someone else said that orange juice can negate weed or mushrooms. And I don't believe that it works that way because there are no compounds in orange juice that can act that way on the brain. So what does the data say? I don't know if I just injected my own bias in there. Let's see. I mean, this thing at least is pretty good at calling you out if you're full of shit. The belief that orange juice can counteract or mitigate the effects of cannabis and psilocybin lacks scientific support. What? No! But I know. No compounds in orange juice have proven to directly influence the psychoactive effects of THC or psilocybin. In the context of cannabis use, some individuals report enjoying orange juice while high, probably due to personal preference or the refreshing nature of the beverage. Oh, this is nice. However, there's no evidence to suggest that orange juice can negate or diminish the effects of THC. There was a Vice article that actually talked about consuming sugary drinks like orange juice and how it's unlikely to have any effect beyond a placebo. There it is. Regarding psilocybin, some users consume them with citrus juices. Yeah, lemon teching. I do grapefruit slash lemon teching, and sometimes grapefruit slash lemon slash orange teching. All right, and it is a tech. You know, it works reliably, and it doesn't taste like mud water, which is always a win. A practice sometimes referred to as lemon teching. The idea is that the acidity aids in the conversion of psilocybin to psilocin, potentially leading to a faster onset of effects. However, this practice is intended to enhance or alter the experience, not to negate it. There's no scientific evidence to support the notion that orange juice can counteract the effects of psilocybin. In summary, while orange juice may be a comforting or enjoyable beverage for some, there is no scientific basis. I mean, but again, the placebo effect is powerful. Like, we literally have scientific basis to believe some compounds would affect people in a certain way. And then we give them an actual placebo, and they still gain the effects we expect from the compound we're trying to test. Like that's literally one of the biggest problems we face, that the placebo is almost too powerful, right? Like the placebo in human beings is so powerful, it makes it hard to study the efficacy of actual medicine. So yeah, I hope I didn't just take a trip killer fee. Suddenly the orange juice stops working. Oh, Melt, I'm too high now, bro. Like my orange juice just kicked out. I'm sorry. Love is true. Uh, I'm now a person who more readily accepts people's limitations rather than gaslighting myself. How does one gaslight oneself? Convincing oneself that they don't have limitations? Maybe that's what you mean, right? Like trying to like tell yourself that this person is actually really great and wonderful, and you've been accepting that they're not a little bit more, maybe. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Planet of the Apes fractal. Were there pets on leashes? I miss mushrooms. I plan on tripping at least once in 2025. That sounds good. Pepe, wat doen jij? Ah! Ah! I do not appreciate those sounds. Okay. Okay. Mango supposedly enhances THC. Yeah, the myrcene. The myrcene that is in mango that gives mango that distinct flavor. It can also be found in weed as a terpene, and the terpene profile in weed affects the onset of the high, right? And in that way, if you give yourself more myrcene in the mango, adding the myrcene that comes from potential marijuaners affects the high. Can give you more. Mm-hmm. Never noticed. Mango supposedly enhances THC. Never noticed an effect personally. Do you know if you're smoking myrcene-rich weed? Right. That could be the missing factor. Like you're gonna have to get something mangoey, or like there's myrcene in like some citrusy type strains as well. Like myrcene and limonene go well together as well as a flavor profile. Oh, you should be able to find that a lot. Cats are like that with us, Joy. They domesticated us thousands of years ago. Big shifts with mom. I grok her memory issues and don't trip. Yeah. Understanding that stuff. Understanding that you don't understand, and that there's almost like a kind of orchestra, divine play in that going on as well. I feel, weirdly enough, one of the best shows to really address that idea is Human Resources, I think it's called. That animated, deprived show. Is it called Human Resources? Maybe. Where they showed a grandma, in decline, having memory issues. And in her mental realm, right, she was like projecting, she was like creating almost like a room for herself in her brain by forgetting the things that she held on to in this external realm. And it can be like a stress response and a trauma response where the outside world is almost too painful to bear. So you make yourself a world that's more comfortable. I don't know if that's more morbid than reassuring, but it is a way to perceive this very real thing that humans face, either in our lives experientially or as ourselves even. Mm-hmm. Currently being catted, can confirm I have been domesticated. A catting can happen to you at any time. Make sure your devices are charged and your water bottle is full. Where the hell you gonna get freshly squeezed OJ when you're having a bad trip? You're a little incapacitated. No, Joy Vive. Like what happens is you get up from having bad trip, and then you proceed to walk to the kitchen, and then meticulously use a sharp knife to cut things in half, and then you're going to grip set oranges and then squeeze them. And all of this is actually going to sober you up. And by the time you drink the orange juice, you're going to be like, wow, this orange juice is great. Like that, unironically, is the placebo I can imagine happening, where some person was having a bad trip, having eaten mushrooms, and then he went, "Oh goodness, I need to drink something, or I need to make myself an orange juice." All right, like that's gonna help. And then he spent time, like he spent the 10, 20 minutes or whatever. Maybe 20 minutes is a lot of time to juice an orange, juice enough orange. I mean, let's say 20 minutes max, right? You're high on mushrooms. The 20 minutes he spent trying to, juice himself some orange juice, he goes through his peak experience, or whatever, or comes out of his peak experience, and then he's in a different place in his trip, and he's in a different place in his room, solving a problem, and he's using his body, and by the time he doesn't realize it, he feels better. All right, like that sounds very. And then he kind of jumps to conclusions, like, oh wow, orange juice. That's all freshly juiced orange juice, right? Like it'll cure every trip. Oh, okay. What are you gonna get for guessing again? That's where it goes. You've been through Kuwait. Limes, though, that's another story. Narcissists gaslight themselves 24/7. Indeed, so fit. I learned it from mind watching. From watching that. Me too. Am I a narcissist? And in that way, I don't think any of you friends are narcissists. I don't know, Joe. Are you secretly an evil monster underneath the calm exterior? Well, I got to meet her. I got to meet her, and you friends wouldn't believe it. I'm gonna out her now. Joe is a great person, an absolute sweetheart, not a monster at all. My crooked teeth support that theory. Levitates above water. That's not what we meant. Oh, I felt something on my back, and I've been smelling a stink bug this whole time. I don't know if those two stimuli are related. I'm not smelling stink bug on my hands, thank goodness. But I do think it's time for me to finish this vertical stream. Are we gonna have to do all the Salem on you and throw you in the river to see if you float? Levitates above water. That's not what we meant. So like, does that mean she is a witch? She's floating above the water. That seems not normal. But like Jesus was walking on water. And you just see them all drop to the ground as their dimly lit bulbs fire and explode. I don't think any of you friends are narcissists. I'm still here. Oh, sorry. Yeah, just Sam is a narcissist. The rest of us are fine. Have a good day, everyone. Love to you, Ronnie. Thank you for spending a moment here with us, friend. Hope that this moment of just company brings you some calm. Hope that these next few days are going to be good for you. Happy holidays. Sending you love. I survived the week. I'm happy. That's the best way. What's the stats on vert versus horizontal lately? The verticals are not doing as well, but I do think it might have. No, I can't. I don't actually have the room to think that anymore because we already did get one data anomaly. Not even that long ago, 4 days ago, where we still managed to reach 500 people in a vertical live stream, right? And the day before that was 250. Day before that is 100. Day before that is 60, and then 50, and then 80, and then 345. And then in comparison, yesterday's stats would be 24 for the vertical, and then 174 for the 24 for the horizontal, and then 147 for the vertical. Day before that is 33 horizontal, 173 vertical. So the verticals are definitely a little bit more accessible. Most of the new viewers that is finding the channel right now are finding the channel through the vertical view. But it is it is like I feel almost by nature, in my mind, lower value content. Hey, don't fall all the way, please. Right? Does that make sense? I don't even know if I'm supposed to like vocalize stuff like that. Because I don't know if it's true. It might be just me learning the wrong lesson. Because like doing a live stream like this suddenly gives it like more seriousness, right? Like it's more important now suddenly. This is like jovial, like, oh, we're having fun. We're just doing like a vertical live stream, and then like it goes, and then it's like, okay, time to serious up. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just my mind. I don't know. Could be. My mind do funny thing many time. Mm-hmm. Hello. Hello, sweetie. Hello, sweets. Oh. Oh. And then she goes again. I'm opening comments one more time for a read through. Stay vertical. Oh, again, there is still value in doing a horizontal stream. Why so serious? There were so many things that went through my being in that moment, Kiefer. Let's not do that again, bro. my what? When I eat too much mayonnaise, I guess mayonnaise is in fact an instrument. It makes sense, and I agree. I prefer horizontal, but I want you to be successful. I've already been successful. All right. Again, like the fact that you friends have like, let me say it like this. What I consider success right now is my Patreon and the fact that it has your friends' support. And despite having gained a lot of viewers with the vertical streams over the last month, like we're up like 9,000-ish views in the last 28 days. All right. Which is good, you know? Like we're up like 9,000 views and about 28 subscribers. 27. So like averaging a subscriber a day. But, and this is, I hope this is very clear, this is me not complaining. I'm very grateful for every single one of the subscribers. We haven't gained any more Patreon supporters. And in that way, like that to me has been like the success driver. And the fact that I can make my art and share it with your friends, like that already makes me feel successful. At this point, I'm trying to like maybe there's an ember, there's like little fire burning, right? Small little baby fire burning in that art of mine. And now like these live streams can be like us blowing on that little fire, and slowly but surely maybe it'll become something big enough to keep us warm. So yeah, I feel like even in saying that, maybe there is some value in staying vertical. Some value. But again, like even in going horizontal, it's not like I'm taking an L. I actually do take it as an opportunity to gather my thoughts and give you friends the rundown of what we've been talking about. And the person that does want to tune into a horizontal video is going to be able to click on that video and find at least something of value, potentially of value. And again, on YouTube's platform, they do not recommend the vertical at all. After it stops being live, it's basically dead to the platform. It like ceases to exist, which is a little bit of a bummer, right? It's like a little bit of a juxtaposition. It's like you can have one or the other. You can either have instant gratification and instant high view potential, instant subscriber potential, and then long-term like value loss. And in that way, I'm trying to like hedge my bets and do one of each. And in that way, maybe, some sort of balance will be reached. Thank you for asking these questions. Thank you for wanting you to be best. Reading a poem and sharing a flower at the end of stream could be a subtle way to promote your Patreon. True. True, Mojo. That's actually really true. Even though it makes instinctively sense. I don't know why I haven't really thought about it like that. I like that. Thank you, Mojo. You're right. Joy Vive has been suggesting that we do that. She even suggested it in the yoga class, I think, at one point as well. We'll do that. I think that'll be fun. I love you, friends. Thank you for joining me for this vertical stream. It was a dear pleasure. I'm gonna end this one here and then do the horizontal one next. Love you, friends. Cheers, cheers for now.